This is soil. This is the continuation of the soil presentation part 2. So children, the contents that are covered in this presentation is you will be learning what is a soil profile and you will be learning soil erosion and the methods of soil conservation. So children, let us learn what is meant by a soil profile. So children, you must have observed on certain occasions that the slope of a mountain is being dug up using a bulldozer machine. So if you have observed just a vertical section of the dug up part, so you can see that the earth, it is made up of different layers of soil. So you can identify this by observing the vertical section, that it is separated into layers. By observing the different colors of the layers, you can see that this is called as a soil profile. It is basically a very deep hole. So what is the definition of a soil profile? It is the vertical section of the different layers of the soil from the earth crust. So children, let us identify the different layers in a soil profile. As I told you, a soil profile is the vertical section of the different layers of the soil from the earth crust. So basically there are three different layers: the topsoil, the subsoil and the bedrock. So children, you must be wondering why I have mentioned number 1 as the organic matter or humus. So children, this layer, this organic matter or humus, is not prominent in all the soils, children. So this organic matter or the humus, as you know, it is the decayed parts of the decayed plant and animal parts. So you know children, this layer, it gives this organic matter or humus, it gives the soil a very dark color and it is very highly rich in nutrients. Therefore the first layer of the soil is it's called as the topsoil. It is the upper layer of the soil and this layer is rich in humus. Therefore it is somewhat dark in color compared to the other layers. So this layer is somewhat, it contains air and water so that it will facilitate seed germination, children. So the second layer is the subsoil, which is below the topsoil, and this layer is above the bedrock. So the subsoil layer is somewhat lighter in color compared to the topsoil, children. So what do the farmers do in ploughing? So during farming or ploughing, they mix the topsoil with the subsoil, children. So children, the third layer is known as the bedrock. So the bedrock is this is a very compact layer. So this is a very hard layer, children. So children, so when you move down the soil profile from top to bottom, you can see that the size of the particles, they will increase as you move down, children. So the finer particles you will find in the top soil and the large particles you will find in the bedrock. So children, let us find out how the layers of the soil profile are formed. So you know that the bottom layer of the soil is known as the bedrock. So this is a very hard, as I told you, this is a very hard cemented layer and it contains very large particles such as rocks. Find them, and these rocks, what do? They will undergo weathering. Weathering means they will break down these big rock particles, they will break down into tiny smaller particles, children. So subsoil is formed by the weathering of the bedrock and formation of the smaller particles. So how is the topsoil formed? It will form by the further weathering. The further weathering means the further breakdown of the particles that are in the subsoil. So children, you know that most of the plant roots, they are anchored to the soil. Most of the plants the roots of most of the plants, they are spread in the topsoil, you can see children. So but in large plants, they are also penetrating, that means they are going deep into the subsoil layer also. So children, in the picture you can see, in these pictures you can see models of a soil profile which children have made. So children, you also can make your own model of a soil profile at home very easily. For further reference, children, you can read activity 15.9 in its book to make a soil profile. So children, you will be learning from this part what is meant by soil erosion. So children, so what is soil erosion? It is the removal of the topsoil layer, top layer of the soil on certain occasions by water, wind and by animals. So you know children, the topsoil layer, that is the topsoil, it is the most fertile part of the soil, and if it is being removed, what will happen children? So just think children. So children, let us identify the causes for soil erosion. The first cause is by rain and flowing water. So the topsoil is being washed away, mainly the fertile part of the soil, that is the topsoil, is being washed away due to the flowing water. You can observe children in this picture, this is like a river, it will wash away the topsoil of the near the banks. So children, the second picture, it shows you one of the another cause for soil erosion is the wind. So during the dry season, you know that the wind, it will cause soil erosion, it will remove the top layer of the soil as dust during the dry season. So children, the other causes for soil erosion, the first one is by sea waves. So you know children, sand in the coastal areas, they are being washed away by the sea waves. So this is also one way of soil erosion. Next, due to agricultural activities, due to so you can see that the picture, due to agriculture also most of the soil is being eroded. So the next cause for soil erosion is by the development projects. You can see building roads and all. So you can observe in the picture and see children, during these building projects and all, most of the soil is being eroded. And by the next cause is by animals, the legs and their hooves. This will also remove the soil, and this is also one type of way where soil erosion occurs. So we know that most of the soil erosion, it can often take place in lands which are having slopes children. So where there is no plant covering in lands, most of the soil erosion occurs. So children, I told you, when there is no plant covering in a land, soil erosion takes place very fast. So we will be doing a very simple activity, that is activity 15.10, and the aim of the practical is to find how the covering of the earth, it affects soil erosion. So children, the materials that are required, the materials needed to conduct the practical, you need a tin with holes at the bottom and 3 large plastic bottles, 3 small plastic bottles, soil, grass, dried and decayed leaves. Next we will see children how we are going to do this. So the method, so first you have to cut the 3 large bottles and you have to fill them with the same type of soil and you have to compress them as shown in the picture. So you can label them as A, B and C. In the first one, you can, in A you can grow grass, and in the next one you can keep dried or the decayed leaves, and the third one you can keep it bare open without doing anything. And next you have to cut the small bottles. As I told you, you have to take 3 small plastic bottles, you have to cut them children, and you have to attach them to the mouth of the large bottles. You can see in the picture children. Then after that, what you are going to do, after the grass it somewhat grows, you can pour water to the soil samples to all the 3 A, B and C. So children, you have to note that the speed of the flow must be equal. So you have to use a same amount of water, and the same vessel to apply water for the 3 setups. So next you can observe the color of the water that is collected. So children, the next is a video. You can see children.
Soil with dead leaves, and we grew some plants in this bottle. We've also used other plastic bottles to catch the water that's going to come out of these when we pour it into the bottle. We want to pour water into each bottle and see what happens. Does that water have the power to change the land? What do you think is going to happen when we pour water into this bottle and it comes out into the cup? Will it be any different from the water we pour into this bottle as it comes into the cup? And will this one be any different when we pour water into this bottle and it comes out into this cup? So I'm going to slowly pour water in. You're going to see the water level rise, and we'll see what happens with our soil. We'll keep it coming. And now it's coming out. Take a look at the bottle we used to catch the water. Well, what do you notice? Well, it's cloudy. So why is it cloudy? That's because all the dirt and the soil from our bottle was washed into the cup. The water had the power to actually take the dirt and the soil with it out of the bottle and into the cup. The water moved the soil. It shaped the soil. So now I'm going to pour about the same amount of water into the next bottle. What do you think is going to happen? The water that we catch, will it be just as dirty? Will it be less dirty? Will we even be able to see a difference? Well, let's pour the water and find out. Here we go. So I'm pouring the water in. Making it rain. Adding water to our bottle. I can see the leaves floating to the top. Do we have any overflow? Yes, we do. Stop the rain and see what we have. So we've zoomed in so you can compare the two. This one has a lot of the soil in the container. This one just has a little bit of the particles, a little bit of the soil in that water. So why do you think this container is a little bit cleaner? Well, what's different between the two? Well, this one had leaves, dead leaves on top, and I think most of these dead leaves helped protect the soil underneath from moving with the water. So what do you think is going to happen with our third container? We have plants growing in the soil. What's going to happen when we add water and make it rain in this container? All right, here we go. Let's add the water. About the same amount. Pouring the water in. What do you think's going to happen here? Add a little bit more. It's coming out. We're going to stop pouring and see if we can compare what we see coming out. The water coming out of this container looks a whole lot cleaner than this one and a little bit cleaner than this one. So the question is why? Why is this water cleaner? I poured about the same amount of water into each container of soil. This one looks really clean. Well, to answer the question why, we have to zoom in and take a closer look at what's really going on here. So now we're all set to take a closer look at why the water coming out of this bottle was so clean and clear compared to the others. To do that, I'm going to actually lift these plants out of this bottle and let's see what happens. Well, what I notice right away is what comes along with all of the plants. Well, the soil is actually coming out too. When I flip it over, I think you'll be able to see why. So we've zoomed in so we can see what's going on here. Why is this soil staying together? Why is it staying in place? Well, you can see the roots from our plants grew into the soil And almost like little fingers, those roots are holding the soil together. So when it rains, the roots keep the soil from washing away. The roots of the plant, that's what keeps the water from eroding.
So children, in the video you observed the practical. So children, let us record our observations. So you can identify the color of the water, children, in the three setups. So in A, I told you it is with the grass. The water that was collected, it was the very clear. It was the clearest sample. So then in B, with dried leaves or decayed leaves, you can observe that the color of the water is somewhat less darker compared to that of C, and it is somewhat darker than it is not very clear as in A. It is less darker compared to the one with only soil, and the one with only soil you can observe a very dark color in the water that was collected. So what can you conclude from the activity? So when there is a soil cover, I told you the soil cover we used was the grass. So you can see that the roots, they are grown into the soil, and it will prevent soil from being eroded, so that erosion will be less. So children, soil conservation is very important when talking about soil erosion. Therefore, there are some methods that can be applied in order to minimize the soil erosion that happens in a land with slopes. The first one you can see in the picture, children. It is by making stone ridges against the slope. So by making stone ridges against the slope, what will happen? It will slow down the flow of water moving down the slope, and it will help to prevent soil erosion, soil being washed away. So the next diagram, you can observe they have constructed drains according to the contours. So they have taken the outline of the land or the boundary, and they have just made contours like drains. So children, the other methods of soil conservation is that you can cultivate according to the contour method. As I told you, the contour method is by growing the plants in the form of rows. So it will help to slow down the movement of water of the soil being washed away through the slope. And the next one is by using cover crops. So these cover crops, it will help to so we know if we plant crops which are highly rooted, it will help to prevent the soil being washed away, as it holds the soil tightly. So it won't help the soil to be washed away. It will help to retain the plant nutrients for further use also, children, and it will help to prevent soil erosion. And we can cultivate vetiver grass such as Salendera and all. They are highly deep rooted cover crops that can be used. So the other methods that are used to prevent erosion is the preparing the field according to the terrace system. So what is a terrace? A terrace is just like steps. So they are built on the slopes of the mountain. It will help to steps that are built on the slopes of the mountain. So that is called a terrace system. So this will help to prevent soil from being washed away by the rain, and it will help to retain the soil nutrients. So children, they will mostly they use this for paddy cultivation to grow rice. So the next one is by using windbreaks. So windbreaks, they help to reduce the speed of the wind. So mostly shrubs they are used. These eucalyptus and all, they are most of the tall trees and all only are used as windbreaks. This will help to reduce the speed of the wind. So children, you must have heard the statement, a nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. So children, you know that soil is one of the most valuable natural resources on earth. So we have to protect it for our future generations, because that is one of our prior important duty as a responsible citizen. So children, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. So these presentations will cover your soil lesson, and hope you can answer your worksheets that are provided in the study pack. So children, thank you, and God bless you. Stay safe.